Good morning. This is edition 2 of the FTE Capital Markets, and I'm Julie Meyer. This morning we're speaking about Sustainability Monetized, our platform. There's a lot of talk about sustainability in the market which goes nowhere. There are a lot of initiatives and attempts to drive that agenda forward, and yet people don't know if it's just another code word for impact or if it's tied to something fundamentally in the environment. We hear words like net zero and carbon neutral. But who's in charge of this? Are we making any progress towards the goal? And how come it's not universally understood at this point? Even in the United States, certain parts of the political sphere are trying to make it illegal. The asset management industry is not tied into its outcome being a part of the way that institutional money is invested. Why is this at this point in the year 2024? Well, the word has not been defined and the financial returns are not commonly understood. We say at Viva Investment Partners, optimize for the system level win. Now, that's not just a nice little statement that sounds good and makes us all sound like we're playing fair together in a team. It's a revolutionary statement. You'd be surprised at how many people fundamentally do not believe that they should be optimizing for a system level win. People do what they believe is in their interest. Rule number 1 about human behavior is people do what they believe is in their rational self-interest. So if we want people to optimize for the system level win, we need to show them categorically why it is in their interest to optimize for the system level win. We set up Kia Investment Partners in 2021 to lead the charge for the monetizing and financing of sustainability in key ecosystems. Our thesis is that the financing of sustainability leads to financially sustainable ventures. If you get the financing right, you get financially sustainable ventures. And that's why we set up Kia Investment Partners in Greece in 2021. And then we did 2 things. We decided to enable people to understand how to become a builder, not a financier. We're the financiers. Other people are the financiers. How can you become a builder of sustainable ventures? Well, you got to build the muscles to become a builder. You've got to have the opportunity. And so from the moment we stepped onto the island of Kia, we had a goal. And the goal was to enable people to understand how they could build sustainability into their lives. And we wanted to use Kia as a platform, as an operating platform for our concepts of sustainability monetized and our desire to build financially sustainable ventures. Now, if we go back just a second and talk about Metcalfe's Law. Metcalfe's Law is understood in the telecoms industry, but actually it's universally applicable. Metcalfe's Law basically says that the value of a network is the total of its members of the network, N squared. N squared is the value of the network. Well, that's now universally applicable in humankind. Our first understanding of a network is our family. The second one is our community. So if we want to build financially sustainable and sustainable communities, we need to understand about networks. And so we do. We help people understand about networks. How can I build something inside of a network without feeling like I'm just a small little cog in the wheel? So inviting people to come to Kia Greece, we invite them to come to Kia Naissance, our festival, our summit in Kia. In fact, we've invited 700 people to come to Kia. 700 people who've understood what it means to be able to build something, to be a builder. I come and I become an entrepreneur there. I become a homeowner there. I become a member of Kia Valley, our community there. I do that by taking a step and visiting and looking around at the other members of the community. Now, fundamentally, in building financially sustainable ventures, we all need to think of ourselves not just as builders, but people who are building revenue. We're building the GDP. If we think about what's going on in the Greek Cyclades Islands, those are the islands close to the mainland in the Mediterranean, close to Greece, they need 12-month GDP. They don't need more tourists. They don't need more wealthy people taking villas in the summer. They need more 12-month GDP. Now, people are moving out of cities, and people would move to the Med, but they need to have the kind of infrastructure that enables them to feel safe to take their families there and to build. So we believe it's important for people to feel themselves that they are builders. We want to create an environment where they can build, and we need them to understand that having a role in building the financing of that community, the financial sustainability of that community, is not a bad thing. It's not something which somebody is damaged by this. Far from it. As we build inside of a network for the benefit of the system level win, if we can be confident that there is a system level win, then it's much more than we can do on our own. On my own, I can do so much, but myself, with you and others, we can change the world. We can change the world if we have a financial architecture. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to be profitable. It's not a bad thing to be collectively profitable. That's what these very large digital native platforms have done, is they've become profitable by defining the profitability of the ecosystem. So why not do that in the most important part of the world, which is our family, which is in the way that we live, which is in the fundamental community whereby we go service the car and we pick up the food and we mail the post and we have connectivity and we go to the hospital to get a blood test. These basic human services. Why is it wrong for that to be organized as a community where I'm a builder and I contribute to the value of that community? Why does that have to be not for profit? Why is that a better model to not make profit? Why not just use different word, but to grow the value of it for the system level win? Not for me, not for you, not for some sort of win-lose, some group of people taking another group of people hostage. Why can't we believe that we could actually define a system level win where we create financially sustainable outcomes by financing and building a financial architecture to the network? I believe that that can be done. I don't believe that that's some sort of airy-fairy fairy tale. I believe that smart people, when they understand that it's in their interest, that they're part of a collective, they're part of a community, not just their family, they're part of a network, that they can contribute their energy, their resource, their insight to that network for the system level win. So as builders, as co-builders, as members of a community, of a network, of a collective, which is committed to an outcome, which is committed to the outcome of a system level win, where all of the members of the community benefit from the value of that network growing. It's enhancing the golden goose, not just taking the golden eggs, but enhancing the golden goose. So if we believe in that golden goose, and we don't just want to take as many of the golden eggs for ourselves, then we have to understand our role, and we have to be committed to the outcome. We have to agree that the outcome is a good outcome if we can make it work, and we have to understand our role. And our role is fundamentally to live our life in a way that actually drives value, not just for ourselves, but drives value for the community. Can we do that? Well, I think we can, provided the infrastructure is in place. We refer to that infrastructure as a stack of services, like a software stack, a stack of services that I, as a member of a community, can pull down. I can pull down healthcare. I can pull down connectivity. I can pull down education. I can pull down different tools and resources for building that community, because I'm going to be driving the value of that community. As I mentioned earlier, the Greek Cyclades, the Mediterranean, there's parts of the world where people want to move to, and they don't just need people on holiday or people that are buying villas. They need people who are building families and businesses. They need 12-month GDP. So if we believe that that's a good outcome, 12-month GDP, and we believe in the higher principle of a system level win, then we have to be comfortable that there is a financial architecture for doing that. That I, as a builder, not just a financier, but I as a builder actually am building value. I'm building financial value in that community. It doesn't need to be below the line, giving it to some public service entity. I can be confident if there's transparency, if there's blockchain transparency, if there's visibility through the community that we are agreed on the common goal and the outcome. I can be comfortable that I'm part of a financial architecture to deliver value for the entire community. That's what we mean by sustainability monetized. It's a system level win. It's not just for some group of wealthy people. It's not just for the financiers. It's the people who go into the investment cycle to build stuff, to build the community, to build the network, to build the infrastructure. Those are the people who come out on the return on investment. It's a figure 8. We go into the investment cycle together and we come out the other side. And in doing that, because of these network effects, because of Metcalfe's law, N squared, each of us together creates a network and creates network asset value. Not just Julie and what she can do, not just Terry and what he can do, not just Jane and what her family can do, but together we're N squared. Together we grow the pie. Together, it's bigger than any one of us. Together, we create something which is financially sustainable, where somebody doesn't need to bail us out. Somebody doesn't need to run to the wealthy people to get the money. The government doesn't get bigger and bigger and bigger and more bloated, and money goes places that we don't know because we are the builders. So we hold people accountable for where the money goes, because it's our money. That's what we mean by sustainability monetized. We're builders, not financiers. We're builders of communities. We understand just a basic principle of N squared. I'm not just a citizen. I'm a node in a network, and that's okay because I believe that we all share this concept of a system level win. That isn't a radical concept anymore for me. It's a concept where I understand that I'm going to participate in the upside of all of our work together. Now, that's not a socialist scam. That's actually good business. That's just creating financial architecture for sustainable businesses. So if you're intrigued, or you're a skeptic, or you just want to come to Kia, or you'd like to see what this new community thing is, and you kind of heard about the property income, so you're thinking of it as an investment opportunity, or you'd like to move to the Med, there's all sorts of reasons why you might want to come to Kia Naissance. Kia Naissance is our festival. It's our summit from the 9th to the 12th of May in Kia. So you drop down into Athens International, 20 minutes to the coast, 30 minutes on a ferry, and you're in a completely different world. That world is, for us as Kia investment partners, it's an operating platform. We're building stuff which puts into practice ecosystem economics, system level win, financially sustainable ventures, sustainability monetized. It's a business for us. But we need builders. We need settlers of the community. We need you to understand what we're doing, and we need you to want to participate, at least some of you. We've brought 700 of you already, and we'll continue to grow through Kia Valley and what we do with Kia Valley. And we'll continue to grow with Kia Naissance and showcasing the entrepreneurs in sustainable food, smart island, sustainable energy, all of these different areas which contribute to sound, robust, financially sustainable communities. So join us at Kia Naissance on the 9th to the 12th of May, or book a special trip if you want to come down and you want to be on your own with your business partners or your family. You can come down before or after, but join us and consider the value of it being in your interest to optimize for the system level win. Because there's a group of us who do believe that it is the financing of sustainability which leads to financially sustainable businesses, ventures, and communities. That brings us to the end of this edition of the FT Capital Markets. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing this with your network. And thank you for considering this invitation to come to Kia Naissance.